Welcome to the Football Pyramid Talk podcast. Available to listen to on YouTube and Spotify. George, Simon and Sterling as your hosts. 7 different leagues. Enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Football Pyramid Talk podcast with myself, Sterling, joined with George as always, and back again for redemption, BHAFC Mike.
Hopefully this week we'll do a little bit better.
Yeah, we'll see. But loads of cracking games, some derby games, some fights, some FA Trophy games. So we've got a lot to unpack here. As always, we'll start with the Premier League. Should we get straight into Brighton? Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, get over and done with.
Well, 3 Brighton fans. Liverpool back to winning ways. Dr. Brighton comes back again, if you will. Team struggling on form to play Brighton. Here you go, bit of form back. And it couldn't really have got to a worse start for us, could it? What, 40 seconds in?
Don't know what Minto was doing, to be fair. It was a bit, I don't know, a bit strange, really. It's sort of like he whipped it in the box and then Gomez nodded it on, and then it was a decent finish by Ekatike, and then he'd been decent defensively and just attacking corners recently, but the defending for the Ekatike's header was abysmal.
For the second one.
Second header, absolutely awful. Don't know what happened there. But as per usual, Brighton missed chances. I think we had equal XG to them in the game and they won 2-0.
No, XG was better than them. We had 1.90 XG and they had 1.89. So tells the story, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Not putting our chances away. It's classic Brighton. And yeah, I think it's just a game to forget about very quickly. Not a good performance. And just rude missing chances in the end.
Yeah. What are your takeaways, Mikey?
Yeah, I think as you mentioned there, just conceding so early is criminal, really. What Minto was doing, I've got no idea, but I think that completely set us back. As you said, the XG was, well, we had slightly better than them. I think had we not conceded so early, we probably would have maybe gone on, had a bit more confidence and taken some chances, but that really set us back, and I didn't see us coming back from it, and we didn't. So.
Yeah, it was a massive blow, 40 seconds in, and just ruins the flow of things completely. But as you said, George, as well, both goals just rubbish defending. Minto at fault for first one, second one, I don't know who it was. I think Weaver, his man. Potentially don't want to put all the blame on him, but I think it was him. It's just rubbish defending. But I know I've said to you guys off camera already, the thing that bothers me is the subs that he makes on the back foot. It's never on the front foot. We were crying out for subs at 1-0. Gomez just missed an open goal, and it's like, all right, get Mitoma on, get some subs on now. Like, they're on the back foot, we're on the front foot. Put some subs on now, and you really put your foot on their necks. But he waits, and then as soon as it goes 2-0, he puts them on, and it's like, well, at that point, it's done. It really does my nut in.
Yeah, so I always think it's a little bit late with his subs. You never see him making a sub in the 50th or 55th minute. It's always around 65th, 70th minute mark, and you just think sometimes he should make them earlier. I think this weekend was a prime example of that. 1-0, you easily got a chance of getting back in the game with the chances we'd had before in the first half and the start of the second half. And, when was his first start? 65th minute after that goal?
When was the second goal went in? So, 62nd minute, something like that.
Yeah, so ridiculous to, it must have been on his mind to make a change, but surely it's just instant that you know, even in the 60th minute, they didn't score until like 66th or something. And, you know, surely you get one in, a sub in an hour into the game, changing it, especially with Matoma and Costellas. Costellas was unreal against it was West Ham, that was it. So, yeah. I mean, I think sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad with Masler because he gets praised for them sometimes, and then on the weekend it was a bad occasion from his subs.
Yeah. Do you think managers overcomplicate it a bit? So I was having this chat with a few of my boys. I think they overcomplicate it a bit. Like, mate, just fucking get them on. You know, like if Gomez has just missed an open goal, like he's not gonna dent his confidence for years to come to be taken off. Like, surely he can admit, like, yeah, I've just missed an open goal. We'll get Matoma on now. Like, I'd take him off straight after that. I would probably have taken him off before. But separate from that, like, do you think, Mikey, what do you reckon? That they overcomplicate it, overthink it?
I think sometimes, but I think it's difficult because it's all well and good saying, "Oh, he didn't make the subs in the right time," but had he made the substitutions while we were on top of the game, it could have easily turned back in their favour quicker.
Yeah.
It's tricky. Obviously, like you think, yeah, Gomez has missed an absolute sitter. Don't know what he was doing. But yeah, I mean, you bring on Matoma, bring on other players. Maybe he's been out for a while, and then all of a sudden they could have gone 2-0 up even quicker. So it's tricky. Obviously you're going to get the praise when it works, and then you're not when it doesn't work. So it is tricky. You can't really know.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a catch-22.
yeah,
Last thing I really wanted to speak about was obviously we spoke about the Salah situation last week. He did start on the bench, and they were saying on Radio Sussex that he was walking around with a face like a smacked arse before the game. But he quickly got on the pitch because Joe Gomez got injured, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he quickly got on the pitch, and he was lively. Let's say that he didn't really. Well, he got the assist for the second goal, but in open play, he didn't really do too much. But he did look threatening, didn't he? And look back to himself a bit.
Yeah, he needs it, doesn't he? Because he's been in the media for what he said in that interview last weekend, and he sort of needs to make a statement to the manager that, you know, what I'm saying is true. So don't sort of put me under the bus and make me a prick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he's just got a point to prove, and I think the home game against Brighton was the first chance for him to try prove that.
Yeah. And with that goal involvement that I mentioned, that's the most goals for a single club in Premier League history. He's broken that record, 277. So, crazy achievement. Whether that'll be his last game and last goal involvement for Liverpool, who knows? But if it is, to go out with that record, that's quite the way to do it. But to be fair, I hope it's not the end of Salah because he's been one of the Premier League greats in our time for sure.
100%. He's been unbelievable, and to see him leave in such a way, I don't think Liverpool fans would want to see it. They want a good send off for a player of that calibre. So hopefully he hits the ground running after AFCON and, you know, gets a decent bit of form. He's going to AFCON, isn't he, with Egypt? So
Yeah.
he needs to kick the ground running there, prove a point, get far in the competition with his country, and hopefully come back and hit the ground running again.
That's it. I'm just going to move my camera a little bit like this so you don't see the Liverpool badge there because it looks a bit wrong with me wearing a Brighton shirt. Anyone watching on YouTube, I'm a Brighton fan. This is my dad's office, so
He's substituted for Simon.
yeah, might as well make the use of the office whilst he's in Australia. But we'll move on to Tyne Derby. A bit of a classic derby fixture. I know they were saying that on the coverage on Sky. But what did you think about it, George? It didn't disappoint, did it?
Didn't disappoint for me. Even though it was 1-0, it was such a, highly anticipated game. You could see the crowd were right up for it, and the players were making challenges early on, so the game was lively from minute one. But that Nick Walter-Marder own goal, absolute horror show. Getting taken the mick out of by Sunderland fans, calling him a Sunderland player, and all sorts of stuff like that. But I mean, in terms of the league, just league games against Newcastle, Sunderland are now unbeaten in 10 games against them, with 7 wins and 3 draws.
It's crazy.
Obviously, excluding that FA Cup game, very good run of form in the league against them. But Newcastle lose away from home again. I mean, they've only won 1 game away from home this season, which was Everton.
Yeah.
So if they want to get, it's not like they're going to win the Champions League, let's be honest. So if they want another route into Europe, unless, they go far on the EFL Cup, I think they're still in it. And the FA Cup, they're going to have to start picking up some form away from home, because at home, they're very good, very hard place to go, but away from home, it is not good enough at the minute. And they've also failed to keep a clean sheet in the last 9 games, which is the longest one without one under Eddie Howe. So just shows that their defensive problems are getting even worse. And Dan Burn got injured as well.
Yeah.
Something wrong with his ribs or something, with a tragic tackle from Mukiele. They just studded him straight in the rib cage. It didn't look good at all. But yeah, I mean, Sunderland in 8th now, remain unbeaten, but it's just poor from Newcastle. Our fans will be gutted. Such a big game for both clubs, and they've come out as the losers in the game, and Sunderland have the bragging rights for a few months until they go to St James's Park.
Yeah, it's a really weird one for Newcastle at the moment. I don't know why their away form is so shocking, and I don't really know why they're struggling to keep clean sheets, because traditionally, or in recent seasons anyway, they've been really solid at the back, and Dan Burns only just got injured. I like that is it Matty Foul?
Pure 4, yeah.
However you fucking say it. Anyway, I like the look of him. They've got good players, they've got good defence, and I can't really work out what's going on there. Can you, Mikey?
No, as you say, I think it's surprising. They've always been a good side in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So not really sure what's up with them, but just touching on Sunderland, I think they've been amazing this season, and I'm so happy for them to get that win in that derby. I think that means a lot for the fans.
Yeah, I did. Watching it, I hadn't really watched much of Sunderland all the way through this season, like obviously on Match of the Day and the highlights and stuff, but they're a really physical side, as you say, and
Yeah.
like the tackles were flying in, and they keep the ball better than I thought they did as well. It's not like they're just lumping it up to Robbie or just trying to hit teams on the counter or lumping it to their wingers. Like, they keep the ball really well. Xhaka is an incredible footballer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lengths that he's come on since leaving Arsenal. He was good at Arsenal, but the lengths that he's come on since leaving there is just like leaps and bounds, and he was just absolutely running things, wasn't he? But yeah, they keep the ball really well, and they're a good side. But there was a severe lack of pace in that first half from both teams, and it wasn't really till the second half Sunderland came out flying. That's when they got the goal.
Yeah.
And then Newcastle they really didn't get going until about the 80th minute, and then they started knocking it about a bit quicker. And I was thinking, where was this 80 minutes ago? You'd be fuming if you were a Newcastle fan in that respect. But to be fair, I think it was one of those cases where neither team really wanted to lose the game.
Yeah, I mean, it was a game that Newcastle fans, probably the game that they didn't want to lose all season, and they've lost it. And you could see when, they were getting shots to the away fans, they just looked absolutely gutted and deflated. They looked like there was no atmosphere there, because Newcastle hadn't created anything in the game, really.
Yeah.
And they didn't really get the crowd going, which sort of just made the Sunderland fans even more energetic and more reason for them to, spur their players on, and it clearly works in the end to get the win.
I think they're really high up in the stadium as well, aren't they?
Yeah,
at Newcastle.
In the gods, yeah, like Newcastle.
Yeah, you've been Newcastle, haven't you, Mikey?
Yeah, was it last season when Welbeck scored the winner?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, unreal scenes, man.
Nice.
But we'll
Nice
move it
scenes.
on. Usually we record the podcast on Monday night, but it's a good job we didn't because we're doing it on Tuesday night. And last night it gives us a chance to talk about last night's game, which was Man United 4, Bournemouth 4. It was an absolutely crazy game. I didn't watch it, Mikey. You were watching it, weren't you?
Yeah, I watched it, mate, and honestly, that was one of the most entertaining games I've seen in a long time. I think Man United were quite dominant to begin with, and obviously, I think Casemiro scored the header just before half time. I think it was a header. And you thought, okay, perfect time to score a goal. They're going to come out the second half feeling a bit more confident. But I don't know what Areola said to them at half time because they come out. I think they scored within a minute of the second half, and then 5 minutes later they scored another. Really, really good game. United got double the attempts on goal as Bournemouth, so they had 24 compared to Bournemouth's 12. Both having 9 shots on target. I think Man United not being as clinical as they could be, but yeah, really entertaining game and 2 great free kicks. So I'm sure you probably saw either of them on social, but Bruno's especially was something special.
Really good. Really good free kick.
Yeah, it seemed like a crazy game. I mean, Bournemouth could have won it as well late on, couldn't
Yeah,
they? Seeing
easily.
that Lehmann
Easily.
made 2. First was a really good save. Second was decent, but important saves late on as well.
Yeah,
massive saves.
I was just going to say, I think they were probably quite unlucky, to be honest, in the end to not have got 3 points over Man United. But
Yeah,
over the 90 minutes, I think United were better, and yeah, I thought maybe Ruben is starting to get things together at United, but who knows? It does sort of seem to capitulate at times, doesn't it?
yeah, a little bit, and I think both teams will be gutted to go away without 3 points. To be fair, Bournemouth with the chances at the end, like you've both said, really good chances, and United just in general. How many times there must have been up by a goal, 2 or 3 times in the game. So to concede and bottle them leads on that many occasions in a game just will be so frustrating for them. And it was a big game for them. I think it was a chance to go into 5th or 6th for them, and go above Liverpool. So yeah, but Bournemouth I think still remain below Brighton now. So
They've fallen off a bit, haven't they?
yeah, but they've fallen off just a tad. Their form's not been hitting the same consistency as it was at the start of the season, where they're in the top 4 comfortably. So yeah, what a game of football it was. I watched the end of it and saw quite a few goals. So yeah, what a game. Lucky we're recording on a Tuesday because happy to talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah, I need to watch the highlights. But how do you guys see United finishing the second half of the season then? Like, do you think they'll kick on? Because they're very inconsistent, aren't they?
Yeah, I think, as I said, I think Ruben has sort of started to get things back together at United, especially this season. I think that they 8th or 7th. They're doing pretty well, aren't they? I think, to be honest, as I said, they have their times where they will just fall apart. But I think they probably will get maybe a top 8 finish. I'm sure United fans would probably be happy with that, even though they'd like to think top 4, top 6 club. But to come back from where they have been in the last few years, I think they'll be happy with that.
Yeah, they'd definitely take that, surely.
Yeah, I was going to say top 8, maybe even top 7 if they're lucky. But yeah, I think it's just consistency with United. They always, it's like that guy, the United Strand with the 5 wins in a row. He's probably hoping they can find 5 wins. But they just seem to always find a way to bottle it. and
Mm.
they did have like run a spell where they were 5 games unbeaten, but they just always seem to have a loss and then they get 2 wins in a row and then they lose or drop points again. They just need to find a rhythm of consistent 3 points, and that will help them get into the top 8 and try push on for maybe 5th or 6th, which it'll be very tough because the league's so compact this season, and they've got good players. Fernandez has been top drawer this season, and Cunha scored a great goal yesterday as well. Casemiro's been really good next to him in the midfield. There's just a few players to name, so yeah, I think United are looking strong, and I would probably go with top 8. Same with Mikey.
Yeah, they're definitely more solid than they have been in recent seasons at the back, but I don't
Definitely.
think I'm completely convinced
No.
about them defensively, and that does show at times. But they got a good duo with Maguire and what's his name, the Dutch one. Can't think of
Delete.
Delete, that's it. Yeah, they've got a nice partnership at the back, but it's mainly just how they strengthen so much up front, haven't they? And as you say, with Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro as well in midfield, that's really where they've been able to step it up. I think a lot more this season. But we'll move on. We'll talk about the front runners. They got a big scare. Wolves very late on, almost snatched it, didn't they, George?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw that they equalised, gotta be honest, I was absolutely buzzing because that would have been so funny to see. Some of the Arsenal social media pages just absolutely fuming. But yeah, they got the second goal to snatch the win. Really, they needed 2 Wolves own goals to get the win in the end. A weekend full of own goals. If you saw some of them, it was about 5 or 6 in the end, wasn't there? So, but I was speaking to you both about it before. Arsenal didn't manage a shot on target until the 66th minute, which is the longest since December 2024 against United. So, I think that's just a concern for Arsenal fans in general, that they hadn't got a shot on target against one of the worst teams in the Premier League and worst starts and worst teams in the Premier League for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You thought Southampton were bad. These are somehow worse than them, which is quite impressive to see. But Wolves that were actually applauded by the fans, the players and staff, after they've been booed and getting eccles at for their performances in the last couple of games. But yeah, both subs combining in Urukadare, might have butchered it, probably have, and good. It looked like a shot from Mane, but it was actually a really good finish by the number 9 who came off the bench. And
He had
another,
it in, didn't he?
headed it in.
Yeah.
Mane looked like he had a shot, but he sort of
Glanced it in.
put off Ryan, glanced it the other way. And another stat was Wolves became just the second team in the league to reach half time with a clean sheet at the Emirates. Only other team was City. So, I mean, I don't know about you. I think it's the 3 points for Arsenal, but I would be a bit concerned about that game. Even more than getting the job over the line and getting the 3 points, because they've been tragic so far, Wolves, and they went toe to toe with them for 90 minutes. So I don't know if you both think that's a scare and something that could see a change in how Arsenal's season's been going.
Well, especially with how much they shelled out to bring Gyökeres. I know he's been injured the last few weeks, but they shelled out, what, 70, 80 million for him? Maybe more? I don't even know. It was ridiculous money.
Yeah.
And as of right now, he's flopped only, what, a couple goals against Leeds in the league and one against
Forest.
Burnley,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Burnley and Forest.
there you go. So, not against brilliant calibre of opposition, and not to the standard that they'd want in terms of quantity either. So, Yeah, it's definitely a worry for Arsenal, but again, we said it before on the podcast, they just find a way to grind out results, and that's what good teams do. They find a way to win, and that's what they did here.
Yeah, I think as Sterling said, I think a top side like that will continue to grind out results. But I mean that even the first own goal was, it was a Saka with the corner, and it's gone to the back stick, and it's come off the keeper and gone in, and you're thinking like
David
if that's the
Stockdale.
level, yeah, literally a moment like that. I don't think it's anything too much to worry about. I think, as you say, yeah, they'll be able to find form, and Wolves have obviously shown that they've been pretty horrendous this season. So maybe a bit of a one-off on both sides.
Well, I was going to say definitely could be a one-off, as you say. I mean, I wouldn't be so worried if I was Arsenal, but I know some of their fans are starting to get a little bit twitchy. But for Wolves, I think definitely some positives there to take. They kept a clean sheet from half time. They got the goal back, and they've obviously got a new manager of Rob Edwards. It's not been too long since he's been in the job, maybe a few games. So, I think they'll take those positives and try to run with it. But we'll move on. Last game we wanted to speak about for the Prem, and then they got a little quiz to run it back, see if Mikey can get some redemption, was the Villa West Ham game. West Ham scoring the quickest goal of the Prem season so far. I think it was about 20 seconds. Not actually written it down, 20 odd seconds. And he actually beat Ekatike's goal from the day before, which broke the record, which was held by that Thale, or however you say it, for Newcastle against Everton away. So, yeah, it was a great start for West Ham, but once again, Villa just show their strength in depth, their mindset, and just what a good team they are, because they come back to win 3-2, and it was all through one man, really, Morgan Rogers, and just wanted to do a piece on him, really, because at the Amex the other week, he was an absolute joke. George, you were at the game, weren't you? Mikey, you don't think you were at the game, were you? No,
I wasn't.
mate, he was an absolute joke. Like, he didn't score, but he did get an assist. I think it was from the corner for the third.
Yeah, the second one where he chipped it over the top for Watkins.
Oh, it was that ball, yeah, exactly. Unbelievable ball. Thought we might have put the cross in for the third, but my mistake. But regardless, he was just brilliant all game.
Yeah.
And his footwork is a joke. There was one time where there was 4 or 5 Brighton players around him, couldn't get near him. He's genuinely one of the best players I've seen live at the Amex in a good few years. Like, top, and he's got to start for England for me. I mean, what do you guys think about him? Like, how good is he?
I'll rate
I
him.
think he's good. Yeah.
I'll rate him massively. He's got an unbelievable goal for the second one, didn't he? Edge of the box or something further out than that.
Yeah, it was a joke. Outside
Absolute
the box.
joke of a goal. Yeah, absolute joke. And yeah, he had a slow start to the season, not at the heights of what he was at before, but since then, recently, he's been back to his best. And this West Ham game was a prime example of that. Another double, and for me, I mean, he's got to be in and around the lineup. Even it could be like sort of like a Palmer moment, he's just sat on the bench the whole summer, and
mate, he's a dead start for me. He's got to start.
that's what I'm hoping for. But I don't want it to be like that situation again, where such players with goals and assists in the league are getting sat on the bench for 70 odd minutes. So yeah, for me, he's got to start, but hopefully Tuchel has the faith in him to actually do that, because he's got superstars like Palmer, Bellingham, and Foden in his position. So it's tricky for Tuchel to decide who starts in that position this summer.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think, Mikey?
Yeah, I think, as you say, he's an absolute quality player. I think the England team is obviously it's going to be a difficult pick because, as you say, players like Palmer obviously not being on the best form. Bellingham, it's going to be tough, but he's got to be there somehow. Even if it's contributing in the training ground or coming off from the bench, I think he's got to be on the plane.
Yeah, I think that's without a doubt. But the reason I'd put him in there is because he could do it all. And I think Tuchel appreciates that as well. Maybe if you put a Palmer in there or Foden in there, not so much Bellingham, because I think Bellingham's got that bit more of the dogged centre mid in him. But he can do it all, Rodgers. He'll help out defending. Even when he's playing in the 10, he'll find those pockets. He's got a strike on him. First goal against West Ham was a really good finish as well. Just got it, touch, bang, bottom left corner. He could do it all. He could pass, as we said, the ball for the goal against Brighton. He can do it all. Honestly, he's a brilliant player. That's why I'd have him starting. But just wanted to do a little segment on him, really, because very, very impressed with him. Shall we do a little quiz? I thought that was a lovely segue.
Let's have it.
Got 5 questions again, all on Premier League, and a lot of them are based on what we've just spoken about, actually. So test whether you were listening or not, boys.
Try not rage bait some fans on TikTok.
Yep, we'll try to rage bait some people on TikTok. We're getting some angry Evertonians.
Yeah, we got the most views in a TikTok video. Cheers, Everton fans.
Yeah, a bit. But anyway, first question is: when was the last time Albion faced Sunderland in a competitive fixture? Obviously, this Saturday coming, Brighton faced Sunderland at home. But when was the last time Albion faced Sunderland in a competitive fixture? Just give me the year.
Okay. What? Just not the season, just the year.
No, just give me the year.
Okay.
That's tough, mate. That's tough.
That is very tough.
It is tough. This might be the hardest one, actually.
I'll start off 2011.
Well, okay. I wasn't going to go that far back. They've obviously not been in the Prem when we have until this year. I don't know. I'm going to go 2013.
Sorry, I had to let the dog out. So you're gone 2013. George's gone 2011. Okay. Well, George hit the nail on the head. It was 24th of August 2011.
Yes.
Last time Brighton faced Sunderland, and that was a 1-0 win after extra time at the Amex. Craig McHale-Smith. Craig McHale-Smith with the goal.
Ah,
Yeah. There you go.
Take that. Good start.
Good start for George. Second question. Cole Palmer back from injury on the weekend, back to the Chelsea starting lineup, bagged a goal on his return. But how many goals does he have in his Chelsea career?
Ooh.
I give the point to the closest person.
Is that in the Prem?
No, all comps.
All comps. Ooh.
Obviously
not for country. Obviously not.
No, Chelsea career.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's wow. Okay. I'll start off with. It's been there 2 years. I'll go with what my gut says, and I'll say 47. Feel like it might be higher, but I'll go with what my gut says.
Okay.
I was thinking just a bit higher, to be fair. I reckon around 50, but I'll go 51.
Okay. Cole Palmer, in 76 Chelsea appearances, got 39 goals.
Oh, 2-0.
George is 2-0 up.
God.
Question 3.
I don't want a Mikey to happen. Switch on.
Mikey, you need to get your head in the game here, mate.
Sorry.
As we spoke about, Salah broke the record for goal involvements for a single team. But who did he overtake?
Oh God! Which player?
Yeah.
Oh God! Wow, that's tough. Any team, isn't it? Yeah.
Premier League history.
Oh,
Any player. Goal involvements for a single club, so we'll get thinking. Who's the Lewis Dunks of the world?
I'll say Wayne Rooney. I guess.
Okay. I was
I'm just
thinking
thinking
like
of
along the
I'm thinking players that have played for long at a club and bad goals and assists. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm trying to think of others now.
What are you thinking, Mikey? George has locked his in.
I was thinking originally Harry Kane because obviously he scored a lot and got a lot of assists.
Kane's a good shout.
But you dropped a little think about someone who's played there for a while. So I don't know, but I honestly can't tell you how long he was at Spurs, but I know he was getting a lot of goals and assists each season. So, but I don't think he'd be up there.
Sterling
I don't
loves
know.
it.
I love being the quiz
I'm
master.
going to lock in Harry Kane because he can't be far off.
We're locking Harry Kane. Well,
He can't be
Mikey,
far.
I don't even know if he was on the list because the answer is Wayne Rooney.
Yes!
276 goals and assists for Man United. So
Jingle bells.
George takes it again, mate. We'll let you have the last two questions. See
It
if
could
you
be.
can
It could
do
be.
it.
It could be what happened to me. Could be what happened to me.
But how
But
many was it?
276 for Rooney.
All right. Well,
Where's
Harry
Kane
Kane.
on the list?
He's got 262.
Oh.
Okay, fair enough then. I'll give it to you. I didn't know if he was on the list or not. I just looked at the top two. I saw Gerrard in there somewhere, Lampard.
It must be top
I was
five.
I was thinking Lampard as well, but
Yeah,
Lampard's another one.
give you that then. Not bad guess. He's straight on Google. He's like, I'm having this. Right, question 4. What is Morgan Rogers' market value as per latest transfer market in euros? So
Euros,
it's usually a little bit more than pounds. Think.
I'll go. Oh wow, that's tough. I'll go 75 million euros.
oh, that is tough. I think. Oh, I don't know. So I feel like a club would end up paying more than what their value is necessarily. I'd say about 70.
You're locking in 70?
Yeah.
He's on the board. For 3-1, it is 70 million euros. So
Hang on.
there you
Nice.
go.
Surely
He's
that's
on the
2
board.
points.
No, that's one. If you get this one, then I'll think of a tiebreaker so you can potentially level it up. Give you what George had last week. Cool. So, Man U have not lost a top flight game when leading at half time since 1984. How many games does this record stretch to?
I saw the stat yesterday.
Say that again. Repeat it for me.
So they've not, when leading, Man United, when leading at half time, they've not lost a game at Old Trafford since 1984. How many games does this record stretch to? League games at Old Trafford.
I'm gonna go 359.
I'm going 300.
You're going 300 dead on.
Yeah.
Okay, well, George, he did see it yesterday, so he's got it there, but it's just wrong. But we'll give him the right answer because he's closest. 395 You said 359.
Come on,
But
he's
that's
done it.
crazy. I believe it's 395 after last night's game.
I
On
think I
Premier
might
League,
have.
it
I
said
think I might have been.
394.
I think I might have been thinking of wins. 300. It's like 358 or 59 wins, and it's only like 30 odd draws. So yeah.
It's a crazy stat, to be
Mental.
honest.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
So George wins 4-1.
Oh no.
Mikey's fuming. Can we move on quickly, Mikey, for your sake?
I've already moved on, mate.
You've moved on, have you? You're over it already. We'll move on to the Championship and some good games in this division. Mikey, you were looking at Portsmouth Blackburn.
Yeah, obviously keep an eye on Pompey, having lived very close to there for quite a while. Dominant display in the second half. Sees big 3 points against Blackburn. That's really crucial for them because obviously coming up to the Championship, I think everyone, apart from Saints fans, probably be happy to see them doing a bit better in the football pyramid. But it keeps them 1 point above Oxford United, who we know when we played them in the cup weren't exactly anything special. That their fans are saying then not really having a good year, but 2 points behind Blackburn, so it's obviously a relegation battle. Yeah, just a really big game for them. I don't know what you boys think. If you think Portsmouth are gonna survive the season, are they going to drop?
They've got some good players in that squad, so I reckon they've got enough. But it's still so tight to call all the way up and down the league, isn't it?
Yeah, massively tight. They've been on a tragic run of form before that win. I'm pretty sure. Is it Messinho there? Is that right? Messinho's there, and he was. I saw links of him being close to parting ways at the club because they had been on such a bad run of form, and this game would have been massive for him. To get the win over Blackburn, not a bad side at all either. And now only 2 points behind them, as you said. So yeah, big win for the relegation battle. They're doing a lot worse than they were last season in their first season back up. But it's sort of like the second season blues. You see it with a lot of teams, don't you? They have a good first season and then the second season they drop off. But as Sterling said, they've got good players in Josh Murphy's brother, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's his name, Josh Murphy.
Oh, it
I
is.
was
That
thinking
is
of
his
what
name.
his first name was. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Got it right. I've seen him kicking on the door. He's a very good player, and he's got a lot of GL, I think, this season. So yeah, I mean, Marco Mahoney was there last season, wasn't he? At Portsmouth as well. So yeah, I'm happy to see him get a win because you were both local for them at university, weren't you? So it's a team that you want to see in the division, and they're a championship side. They've known to be for years. So yeah, it's one to keep an eye on because their form before this win was horrendous. So to see them get back in on winning ways is a really good sign.
Yeah, definitely think you're right, Mikey. Everybody, probably bar Saints fans, want to see Pompey do pretty well. But I'm actually surprised to see Blackburn that far down the league. But I don't know what's going on there, to be honest with them.
Tragic. I don't know how that's happened. Yeah, without winning 5, I've got here, and just 3 points off the drop. There's so many teams down there that are usually so much higher at the table.
Yeah.
Norwich, Blackburn when they did the playoffs last year, Swansea, Sheffield United, West Brom. It just shows that this league, there's teams that you wouldn't expect to be up there that are up there, and teams like Sheffield United, Swansea, and Blackburn are near the relegation zone in the minute, and Norwich are in the relegation zone. So yeah, it's mental league at the minute, isn't it?
It's ruthless, yeah, and it's a nice cue into. I wanted to speak about the Norwich game, 2-1 versus Saints. Really big win for them. As you say, still in the relegation zone, but 8 points out of a possible 18 for Felipe Clement since joining them. So not bad going. You know, he's had some good results in the recent weeks, and this was probably the pick of the bunch against the Saints side that have been doing a lot better since their new gaffer came in, since they got rid of Will Still. Only fourth win of the season, mind, so they'll need to be seeing a lot more of this. But I was looking, it was Javon Makama that scored both goals. Might have butchered it, but I think I've done all right there. With a brace, takes him to 6th for the season. They look like they've got a good player there. Formerly of Brackley Town, I believe he's
nice.
19, 20, 21, potentially young English striker. So they look like they've got a good player there, Norwich, and they look like, as we've touched on in recent weeks, that they've got a good manager there too. So I think positive signs.
Yeah, very. I actually watched a bit of this game and saw Makama's goal. Another attempt there. It was definitely handball. His goal. It's been on social media for it, and he was in an interview after. He was asked a question about it. He was like, "A goal's a goal, mate." It's like this is why. Fans don't want VAR in the Championship because they full well know that goal would have been chalked off within, might have taken VAR about 10 minutes, knowing VAR, but yeah, to see someone come up from Brackley Town in the National League and be scoring 6 goals in the Championship like that, brilliant to see. And it was a good penalty save by the Norwich keeper. You saw on the replay that Kenny McLean, the Norwich captain, knew exactly where Adam Armstrong was putting it. Literally, like, screaming to go that way.
Yeah.
And, dived across well, got there, good save. And, I think Norwich deserved the win on the day. As I said, I did watch it. So, deserved win, and they needed that because tragic start to the season and they want to be climbing out that relegation zone as quick as possible, really.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. They're a good club, really. I mean, we've been up there, haven't we, George? Mikey, you've been up there?
I
Carroll
haven't.
Road? No, you've not. It's not one you've been to. It's not bad, is it, George? It's not bad.
Oh, that's all right there. I like it there.
It's quite a nice away game. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see them. I would be massively surprised if they got relegated, especially in the position they're in now. But
Yeah.
Middlesbrough have continued their brilliant run of form at the top of the league. 3-1 home win versus QPR. QPR have fallen off a little bit now, but they're Middlesbrough, going back to them, they're now 5 points behind Coventry after poor run of form or results, aren't they, George?
Yeah, it's been impressive. Kim Elberg, the new manager, seems to be playing really good football there, and he's scoring goals for fun. 4 wins on the bounce, 2-1 win at home to Derby, 4-1 away win at Hull, 2-1 away win at Charlton, and a 3-1 win, as you said, at home to QPR this weekend. And unbelievable start for him. Sort of carrying the torch for Rob Edwards with the sort of run of form that he was on at the club before he moved on to Wolves. And some players I've picked out, Morgan Whittaker, we talked about him at the start of the season, but recently he's been incredible. Got a goal in the game against QPR and in midweek against Charlton. 6 goals and 1 assist in his last 6, and he's been on the score sheet in 6 games in a row. So unbelievable stat that he's hit the back of the net in 3 games on the bounce. So just shows the quality that he has, and he's sort of coming to life in a Middlesbrough shirt since moving from Plymouth, and keep knocking on about him. But Hayden Hackney just keeps seeming to be performing. Prem bound, I think he's definitely knocking on the door. Could see him going to maybe a Brentford. I could see him in a Brentford shirt. Don't know why. Just one of those Championship ballers that they usually get. Maybe even Palace, unfortunately. Could see him getting in. But anyway, he's got 3 assists since Hellberg's been appointed. 2 man of the match as well. And all season, he's about averaged on FootMob above a 7.5, 7.58 to be exact. Just shows how much quality he's got in the middle. He's dictating the play for them, and I think he's a class player. You watched him on an occasion, didn't you, Sterling? You said on one podcast, and you said how good he was. And he just keeps performing to that level, doesn't he?
Yeah, I can't remember who they were playing now, but yeah, me and Dad watched him, and he's ridiculous, Mister Consistent with how he's balling out for them every week. But Mikey, we spoke in depth about Rob Edwards' departure from Middlesbrough. What did you make of it? Because obviously you weren't on when we were talking about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think as you say, they're Middlesbrough obviously top of the table. Literally just having a little look now at the top goal scorers and top assists in the league, and no Middlesbrough player features in the top five for either of them. So they're obviously performing really well, but not just individually as a team. They seem to be glued really nicely. So it's good to see them doing well. I've been up there before, and I'll tell you what, I'm not going back. So even if they do come to the Prem, I've done that one. But as you say, I think since making a few changes, it seems to be working out for them.
Yeah, it does seem to be working. Can't complain with that run of form they're in.
Oh.
They'll be buzzing, and actually seems to be getting the most out of their best players, really. With Morgan Whittaker, he wasn't doing as well when Rob Edwards was there, so maybe it was the best thing all round. Because Rob Edwards I didn't know, but he's got big affiliations to Wolves, so
Yeah, he used to play for them.
Yeah, it makes more sense now why he wanted to go, even though he might end up being in the Championship and they might end up swapping round.
Yeah.
But, very good for Middlesbrough. And 5 points behind Coventry, you said now, George?
Yeah,
Coventry
yes.
top, and then Middlesbrough just knocking on the door there.
Yes, closely compact now after Cov have had a few, a loss and a draw, I think, which is because of Middlesbrough's consistency getting 3 points. It's put them back in with a shout. So, but also about QPR, they've actually not been too bad. In midweek, they had some last-minute limbs against Birmingham to win 2-1. Last 6 games, 4 wins, 2 losses. They just need to find a bit of consistency because they're just 3 points outside the playoff places. So it's just a setback for them to making the playoffs happen because we know they've had some incredible moments in playoff games, like the Zamora moment as a prime example of that. So to see him back in the playoffs, they need to find consistency because they want them 6 games into 6 wins, not 4 wins, 2 losses, if they want to be in with a shout at the playoff places.
Yeah, they've gone under the radar a bit though, because I've, as I said, I thought they'd fallen off a little bit, and I know they've been a bit more inconsistent, but they've not been doing as poorly as I thought they had been, because I thought they'd been doing a lot worse than actually from what you're just saying that they have been. Because it seems like every time I look, they've either lost or drawn the game. So obviously not looking hard enough. But yeah, no, very good for QPR. That'd be a good one to go to, actually.
Definitely.
So they ended up getting promoted. But we move on to League One. Cardiff still slamming away at the front, in that race for the League One title. They're just seeming to be the clear runaways, aren't they, George?
Yeah, another 2 wins since last episode, one a midweek and one eventful game on the weekend. Another last-minute winner. You spoke about one last week, Mikey, and they come back with another one against Doncaster, a 4-3 win. And the man you were talking about last week as well, Select, scored the last-minute winner, another goal and assist. 10 goals, 3 assists in the league this season. Joint top goal scorer with Kelly Dunn of Barnsley. So, yeah, they beat Stevenage in midweek 1-0 as well. 3 wins on the bounce for them now. And one thing that sort of sprung out at me when I was looking at the player ratings and the match highlights was their front four always seems to be, combining and getting goal contributions. out of the 4 goals, every single one of them got a goal contribution. 3 goals and an assist from Ashford, Kellyman, Davies, and Select, who were the front 4 in the game. And they scored goals for fun. 1.9 goals a game, basically 2 goals a game, which is, I think, joint first in the league. And I think they're also joint first for the most clean sheets in the league, alongside Luton. So them 2 together bode so well. And you can see why they're top of the table when they're scoring goals and they're also keeping clean sheets. So Brian Barry Murphy, since he joined from Man City Academy, working wonders, and I think they're in the driving seat for the top spot in this table at the minute. 100%. I don't know what you both think.
Yeah, what a name, by the way. Brian Barry Murphy. What is that? Is that like a double-barreled second name or something?
I just looked at it on football.
That is middle name. Anyway, yeah, they've been the clear favourites since game week 1 pretty much, and even before any ball was kicked at the start of the season, because, you know, we got slated on it on TikTok, but they have had a fresh squad, not from new signings, but having a lot of youngsters come through. Obviously, new manager, new owners, and Cardiff are a far too big club to be playing in League One, really. And that's no
Definitely.
disrespect to the standard, because it's a brilliant league and there's some brilliant teams in the division. But Cardiff, not too long ago, Premier League club, I was going up there to watch the Albion play 2018 and got to a League Cup final, so to see them in League One is crazy. But yeah, brilliant stats for the season. And yeah, you both been looking at them in the recent weeks, and it says a lot. Mike, you must be impressed with them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as George was saying, that Select guy is obviously having a hell of a
Bagsman,
season.
yeah.
So I won't be surprised to see him. Obviously, looks like Cardiff are probably going to get promoted, but yeah, I won't be surprised to see him maybe make a move to a bigger club in the next few seasons.
Yeah, he's running away with it, isn't he?
That's without Ollie Tanner in the attack still as well. He got injured just a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago now. Still not back from injury. Him in the attack as well. They must have, and I think they have one of the best attacks in League One, without a doubt, because all players are, as I said before, getting at least a goal contribution. And it happened against Doncaster to get another win and another sort of late show for the Sky Blues.
Yeah, definitely. Are they sky blue?
So I can't remember.
Sky blue's Coventry, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
No, they're bluebirds. Cardiff,
Bluebirds, something bird.
Yeah.
That was it.
Bluebirds. I wanted to speak about Barnsley. They had a really good comeback win. Well, they went 1-0 up, then they went 2-1 down. So I say comeback win. It was in the end. Against Leyton Orient, 3-2. As I said, 2-1 down, and then goals in the 77th and 85th minute for Barnsley. So absolute scenes there. Is it Deepdale? I think it's
Deepdale, yeah, Deepdale. Oakwell.
Oakwell, that's it. Deepdale's bloody Preston. Getting all mixed up here. Anyway, yeah, absolute carnage. Just on Leyton Orient before we speak about Barnsley, their defensive woes continue. I mean,
Oh
we've
my God, it's
highlighted that.
awful.
They've got such a good attack. I mean, they have just lost Aaron Connolly to injury, but they got such a good attack, and to go 2-1 up and then concede such late on, they'll be really disappointed with losing that game, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely gutted, and yeah, it's not been the same this season for Leyton Orient. We keep picking them out because they're finding a run of form. They're always involved in high-scoring games as well. Like we always say with their defence, they're always conceding so many goals. Can't imagine how many it is per game so far this season. But yeah, another disappointing result. Looked like they were finding a bit of consistency. I think they were unbeaten on a decent run of form before this game. So just shows how good of a result it is for Barnsley. I mentioned before about the joint goal scorer with Select and Kelly had done is the other player. He got a goal as well this weekend, another goal, and the other man in this game with 2 goals and a 6 was Cleary on the wing, man of the match in the game. Reyes Cleary. I think he used to play for West Brom, if I'm not mistaken. Might need to fact check that before I finish this. But yeah, I mean, they need to find form if they want to get anywhere near the playoffs again. Leighton Orient, because their defensive, play and just structure doesn't look to be good enough. And 33 goals they've conceded this season. I've just got up. I think that's
it's not good enough.
if I look through, I think that's the worst in the whole league. Yeah,
We
I think
highlighted it a few weeks ago.
I think it's the worst in the whole league. Yeah, so just highlights how poor they are defensively. But then you look at it on the goal scoring side, they're definitely up there for that. So they're a very entertaining team to watch for the neutral. You can say that because they've got great attackers in Ballard and Perkins and Aaron Connolly, just to name 3. So yeah, I mean, great result for Barnsley. I think they're near the playoff places now. So
yeah, they're sitting in 8th.
yeah, that's decent.
I did want to speak about Barnsley a little bit more because after their start of the season, it's actually quite surprising to see them that low down. Because if you remember, they were one of the front runners at the start, up there with Cardiff, and they looked really like one of the teams to beat for the title. That they're going to be up there with Cardiff. Obviously, Conor Hourihane, the manager, as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've just dropped off a little bit, so it's a massive win actually, and a good way to do it. Hopefully, gives them that bit of belief. But Brighton played them earlier in the season, and I don't know what you boys think about this, but I don't think they look that bad. I know we battered them 6-0, but you'd expect that.
Yeah.
But they hit the woodwork 4 times in that game. I think it was 3, and Brighton. We scored a few worldies from Diego Gomez. I didn't think they looked that bad. Did you?
No, I thought they were pretty good, to be fair. I think, obviously, as you say, it's expected that we were probably going to give them a bit of a see into, and Gomez with a few wonder goals. So, no, I think the scoreline was definitely harsh. Probably didn't reflect on the performance that the Barnsley put in against us. But then again, there's just such a big difference between the levels of football.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? I mean, they've got good players, and Conor Hourihane's done all right there. But yeah, it was probably expected from Bryant's point of view. They've got Caden Vickers there, haven't they? Barnsley. When he was at the Albion in pre-season, pretty sure I went on to Barnsley. But anyway, yeah, I think they're a good side. They've got a good manager as well. So to see him up near the playoff places doesn't surprise me.
No, absolutely not. And I can imagine them pushing on a little bit more in this division as the weeks and months go by. But last game we wanted to speak about, Mikey, you were looking at it, Bradford 2, Reading 0. Another defeat for Reading, but big one for Bradford.
Yeah, I don't know if I touched on it on Bradford last week, or I've definitely been keeping an eye on them. As you say, 2 defeats in a row now for Reading. But Bradford are really holding on to this league because they really want to catch up to Cardiff. 4 points behind them now. And they're having a really good season. They've obviously beaten Reading 2-0 at Valley Parade. I think that puts, I'm about to butcher some names. Sav, I won't even bother. Antoni's his first name. And then Bobby Poynton, both of them now on 7 goals for the season. So obviously 2 players really putting in a shift for them this season. And it'll be one to watch. Obviously, I think Cardiff really are running away with it, but it's going to be close come the end of the season. So I think from a Bradford point of view, all they can do is keep grafting out results and see where they end up, because I don't think Cardiff are going to let down.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cardiff, as we said, are going to be champions come the end of the season, but Bradford are definitely one of those teams who will be looking to come second and get that automatic promotion spot just after Cardiff, and I could definitely see them doing it. I mean, we've not spoken about Bolton for a few weeks. I thought they might be coming second, but I don't even know what they're doing. So Bradford's a really good shout.
Yes, I think they got promoted from League Two. To see him that high up in the table after being a League Two side last season, I think it's massive credit to them as a club and them as a team. You know, they got some decent players that I'm aware of. Like Max Power in the midfield. That Sarkovic might have butchered that, but
That's
he
what
used
I
to.
tried to say. That's
Yeah,
why.
I think he used to play for Bolton a couple years ago. But yeah, to see him on the score sheet's good because he was at Stockport a few years ago. Will Swan as well. He was at Crawley last year. They got a few decent players, but to see him that high up the table, massively surprising. And yeah, Reading not getting any better. It's inconsistency from them, and they sit near the drop, and they're literally above the relegation zone. I've got it here on goal difference, so they need to find a run of form. 2 losses on the bounce, as you said. And I mentioned it another week how they've got some really good players. I won't go through them again because probably bore you, but yeah, to see them that far down with the players that they have, I think it's poor. But to see how well Bradford are doing with, I'd say got quite a minimal squad. I'd say that's a lower half League One side on paper, I would imagine. But to see him proving me wrong by saying that, massive credit to them and the management team in Graham Alexander because they're doing unbelievably in second place.
Yeah, I doubt they would have even dreamed of that come the start of the season. And actually, they've got the least amount of losses in the league. So
Really,
they've only lost twice this season. Cardiff themselves have lost 4 times. So yeah, they're doing really well. We'll move on to League Two. Might as well kick it off with the Swindon game because there's an absolute perler that we saw in this game, wasn't there, George?
Oh, what a goal! What a goal it was! I don't know which one it was, which one of the players it was, but it was absolutely outrageous. Right, the camera angle that the fan got in the stadium,
Yeah,
made it look ridiculous.
go
But
watch the highlights if you haven't.
yeah, 100%. There's an absolute worldie in there from might have been Alan Drirren, who's the top goal scorer in League One with 11 goals and an assist. Aaron Drirren scored in the game, but also got sent off. So mixed emotions from him. And yeah, Bristol Rovers is so bad, getting worse and worse. And they had to play the game 55 minutes while 3-0 down. So yeah, I think they were just waiting for the full-time whistle inside about half an hour because that's how long it took for Swindon to go 3-0 up in the game. Snowden, Clark, and Drennan with the goals in the game. But yeah, Bristol Rovers dropped into the bottom 2, and because of that, have parted ways with manager Darryl Clark. It's another managerial departure in the EFL.
Yeah.
It felt like a long time, hasn't it, Sterling? Since
we've not sent each other.
yeah, I
too
know.
many
It feels like a
recent.
long time since I sent the DJ Khaled and Apple one to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but Bristol Rovers need that new manager to be good because they're on a horrendous run of form. And they sit in 23rd place, and with the club, in sort of just in a tragic place. They need the new manager, sort of like Steve Cottrell in this league. Cheltenham were tragic before that, and he sort of dug them out of the ground, have sort of made them into a decent side. So, yeah, something needs to happen because no league win in the last 11 games. It's very concerning for Bristol Rovers, but Swindon in the top 3, 2 points off of the league leaders and Walsall, I'm pretty sure it is. So, yeah, they'll be open to find that top spot because they haven't been in League One since 2020-21 season. So, 6 points inside the playoff places and sitting an automatic spot, they'll be open to get back there.
Yeah, definitely, and they're doing well. They're on the right track for that for sure. And as you said, that Aaron Drynan, look like they got some good players, him included with the rest of the squad. I'm sure, but he's top goal scorer in the division, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, doing really well. And I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to get the second promotion spot, to be honest, without having to go into the playoffs, because they look like a good side. But just on Bristol Rovers, I mean, there's no surprise that they've kicked their manager to the side because they're after 11 straight wins, 11 straight games without a win.
Yeah.
It's just nowhere near good enough, is it?
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question, Marky. It's Ian Holloway that's at Swindon at the minute. Don't know, you're aware of him from, the Palace days and EFL days. With his experience, how helpful do you reckon that is for them? Because they've started off the season well, and he's showing that he's implementing it in third. So, what do you think he would bring to a League Two team, having been higher up in the pyramid before?
I think obviously having that experience, you're going to have a lot of knowledge. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of youngsters in sort of League One, League Two football.
Yeah.
But also, I guess you have the people sitting around 30 to 35. So there's a lot of things that he can teach them. I think it is difficult because coming from the Premier League or the Championship, you can't necessarily implement the same style of football.
Yeah.
So sometimes it doesn't really transfer. But I think just in terms of like man management and things like that, I think be able to keep control of the squad, and sometimes that's all you need when you can put the ball in the back of the net. That's one of the most important things is if you can control the team and keep them going, then there's no reason why they can't get that promotion spot.
Absolutely. Well said, Mikey. And I wanted to speak about Salford again. Crazy result once again, 2 weeks in a row. 4-3 versus Colchester this time. Might not have been 2 weeks in a row actually, but a few weeks in a row, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just absolutely crazy. 29 goals in their last 5 games in all competitions.
What?
29 goals. Yeah,
It's nuts.
I looked. It's in all competitions. It's not all in League Two, but yeah, and not only that, there's been a goal in the 80th minute or later in all 5 of those games. In some of them, there was multiple.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're just finding ways to win games. They've done it again in this game. Pretty sure I've not got it written down here, but I'm pretty sure they scored very late on again.
90 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. 92nd minute to beat Colchester on the weekend and go into 6th position in the league and only 6 points off the top as well. So, like we said about Arsenal, good teams, they find ways to win games, and that's what Salford are doing in the most dramatic circumstances.
Yeah, they're finding ways to win games, which is always a good thing. And yeah, it would have been late limbs again. I saw Gary Neville reacting to Garbutt's goal in the last minute. It looks like he was going through a few emotions because very topsy-turvy game, back and forth, which it always will be in a game which is 4-3 in the end, isn't it? So, yeah, Garbutt got on the score sheet, goal and assist. Olawo, centre half on the score sheet. 2 defenders getting on the score sheet, which is always good to see that players are contributing from back to front in your team. But yeah, it's not like Colchester have been a bad side recently under Danny Cowley, sorry. And, to beat them in such a way, massive confidence booster when you're winning games, such high scoring. Fans would have been ecstatic, you can imagine. So, yeah, to see Salford in 6th, I think it would have been a promotion sort of battle. Don't know where Colchester are off the top of my head, but I think they're quite near the top. And I think they both are. So, Salford getting on the end of the win will be massive in their hopes for getting in the playoffs by the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mikey's having a look there in terms.
Certainly am, yeah. Salford, obviously, they're sat in 6th. Colchester, a little bit further down, mid-table in 12th. But it's really nice. It's only 5
It's so
points.
tight in this league, though. They could move up into, I don't know, 8th or 9th maybe. That's not even me looking at it. It's probably just
Up
it's
to 8,
mental.
yeah. After one game, yeah.
Yeah, after one game, we speak about it so much, don't we, Sterling? Because this league, it can change in literally a click of a finger because it's so close. That 3 points could make you climb up about 4 or 5 positions after one game week. So, so often consistency is so key. Because if you can have that in this league, you're gonna go. You're gonna go up, really, aren't you? Because there's lots of teams getting wins and a draw and a loss, but you want straight wins, consistency, and Salford have found that recently. Couple really good results, and they need to keep that going to get in a playoff place this season.
Yes, same actually. Just quickly on every league in the football league at the moment. Even Premier League as well. It's so compact. Like one win can just send you up there. Like Brighton the other week could have gone into like third or fourth, and now we're sitting in 10th. And it's like I think there's like 3 points gap between us and maybe Brentford.
Yeah.
So it's going right the way down the football league at the moment. Not so tight in National League and stuff, but yeah, definitely it's really good. Seems like there's a good balance in all the divisions at the moment. Just moving on, the last game I wanted to speak about was Tranmere Crew Alexandra. Mikey, you were looking at this one.
Yeah, big game for Crew. Obviously, Tranmere sat down in 15th, but they've had 3 wins in the last 5, so maybe they thought they'd be doing a little bit better against Crew. But really, the 2 standout players in this match were O'Reilly and Sanders. Sanders coming in with 2 goals.
Of course, Sanders.
And O'Reilly with
Former Brighton player.
2 assists and a goal. So, they linked up together. The only other goal for Crew was a penalty. So just maybe those 2 linking up, and then obviously James Connolly with an own goal to give a consolation to Tranmere. But big 3 points for Crew, and as you say, it's so compact in the league. Who knows really? They a couple more results. That I think their form's not been the best. I think that's their first win actually in the last 5 games for them. But if they pick up that form now, keep it going, they could see themselves pushing for playoffs and promotion. But as you said, it really depends on the next few months.
Yeah, 100%. And to see Jay Saunders, former Albion product, getting a brace and an assist, man of the match. Good to see, the youngsters that have come through the Albion scoring and getting assists in the EFL, which is always good to see. But yeah, Crew, really good side, and were predicted to be up there near the start of the season. And it was a massive result for them to beat a Tranmere side that are very hard to beat. But they put that aside and put 4 goals past them, 4-0 up at one point, and then, as he said, Mikey, a consolation goal to give to them. But yeah, massive result, and they're near the playoff places now, so they'll be buzzing with that.
Yeah, they just need to keep up that form, don't they, really? That's going to be the main thing for them, whether they can go on a run, because, as we said, not to sound like a broken record, if a few wins is going to shoot you right up there, so all they really need is to go on a little run, and then, they're going to be in and amongst the playoffs and maybe even automatic spots, but we'll move on to the FA Trophy games. A lot of National League South teams that were mostly in this competition, but there was one absolute giant killing that I wanted to speak about, and it's crazy. Clitheroe of Northern Premier League Division 1 West, which is just gonna have to move my phone because I'm on charging my phone now, so it's on my laptop. Step 8 of the football pyramid. So
It's nuts.
they played York City, one of the front runners at the top of the National League, obviously step 5, so 3 leagues difference in this fixture, and Clitheroe They were the home side. They managed to take it all the way to penalties after 1-1 in normal time and extra time, and they won it 4-3 on penalties. So absolute carnage. I know we obviously talk about the FA Cup,
Yeah,
but FA Trophy, this is just the magic of it, and these clubs, some of them like York City, they have a chance in the FA Cup, but this is really where it's at for them, because still amazing ties like this, Clitheroe, the fans, they'll never forget that.
yeah.
And actually, I was looking into the prize funds for it, which is really interesting. I wanted to speak quite heavily about this. So for the win this game, Clitheroe, they win £4,500 just for
Wow,
winning this game.
that's massive for them. Massive.
Yeah, absolutely. And then York, for losing the game, receive 1,250. So that's for losing. Even
Take
that's not
that.
not bad, yeah. And then altogether, the winners of the FA Trophy this season win 60,000 prize fund. So
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely beautiful scenes for Clitheroe, and I mean, what can that money do for a step eight side? So much. You think
Absolutely
going
loads.
up divisions,
Hmm.
they have to get certain floodlights, certain
Yeah,
pitch and ground regulations. It could all contribute to that. Never mind the other things for players, getting better players in, better staff, etc. Like, it's just massive, and yeah, I loved seeing that. To beat York is a massive scalp to their season, really.
yeah, it'll be massive for them. Obviously, we don't really know the Northern Premier Division as Southerners, so don't know how they're getting on their respective league. But I saw the penalty to make Clitheroe win it. The York player tried to chip it down the middle and he hit it over the bar. So keeper dived the wrong way. All he had to do is put it on target, and
Mark
he.
White would be fuming,
Oh
mate.
my god! When his striker did that, I can't remember his name now, but his
Jason
striker did.
Pryor.
Jason Pryor, thank you. Jason Pryor did it in the FA Trophy. Actually, he did it in the FA Trophy against Borough. And when he got back in the changing rooms, he was fuming. So, can imagine the same things were happening to the York player. I can't remember who it was, but you make a great point, Sterling, about stadium facilities with the money, because there's teams, a little bit lower down the pyramid that literally aren't accessible to go up a division because their stadium facilities aren't good enough to be in the league. So to
Yeah,
have that money to contribute towards better lighting, better facilities, better, I don't know, ground, better quality of the pitch, etc., is crucial. And that money just for winning a game of football is massive for them, And 4.5 grand will be absolutely crucial for a team in step eight. I think that's the league below Lewis, isn't it? So
yeah, it is.
massive for them, and yeah, as you said, will be probably the best moment of their season for them unless they get promoted in their division. But yeah, be a moment for their fans to never forget, because beating one of the biggest teams in the competition you could have got easily, and beating them at your own ground, massive occasion for them, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, definitely. They're not actually doing very well in their division. I think I looked
No,
and
they're not.
they're about 11th. Yeah, so
Fucking hell.
it's it's a
Yeah.
bit of a surprise, really, even for them potentially. But yeah, incredible. I mean, Mikey, what do you make of that, mate?
Yeah, as you say, I think it's definitely a bit of a David and Goliath match, really, in respective to their level. Just looking at the
Yeah.
game, obviously Clitheroe winning on penalties, but both the goals in the actual game were so late on. Clitheroe scored in the 89th minute, and then former Worthing boy Ollie Pearce scored in the 98th minute to take it to extra time.
Wow.
So really, you could say maybe a bit unfortunate to not have just won it
Yeah,
in the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, definitely the fans will be happy, and even if they don't do so well in the league, there's something to take away from the season.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with all the prize funds actually, because I know I've said, like, talking about the FA, they've got to do more for grassroots, non-league, and the pyramid as a whole. But actually, 60,000 for the winners of the FA Trophy is really good, and they're actually spreading it out with, at each stage of the competition, you get money. So even the qualifying rounds, if you won and lost, you got a little bit, and
Nice.
then so on. It would progress so on, as far as you went on. So yeah, it was really good to see that. I was really impressed, and yeah, fantastic result for Clitheroe FC.
Mm.
Big up,
That's
big 'em up. Never heard of them, but there we go. We also saw another massive upset, didn't we? With Yeovil. Yeovil's old side, sorry, just reading it now, George. Walton and Hersham. 4-1 win over National League side Sutton.
Yeah, I mean, massive moment for them. Billy Rowley's old team, now Yeovil manager in Walton and Hersham. Another giant killing, the step above Cliff Row, step 7. Um, but a very worrying result for Sutton, as well as York, to lose to a team 2 leagues and 3 leagues below them. Even with a rotated side, I'd still be concerned, because your B team should easily be beating a team that's 2 leagues below. But Walton Ayrsham are looking, just certain to be promoted to the National League South next season, so we'll probably be talking about them a bit more. 8 points clear at the top of the Southern Prem division, and they're 16 points inside the playoff places if you exclude the automatic spots. But yeah, 4-0 at one point in the game. Mason Obeng with a hat trick, and Dawid Rogolski with the other goal. I think I got that right, actually. I'm quite happy with myself there. But yeah, I mean, that Rogolski, I was looking at the foot mob stat, he's got like 17 odd goals in the league. So it doesn't surprise me, because they've been ridiculous in the league and were under Billy Rowley before he departed for Yeovil. New managers Jakub Pitterzek.
You've done all right there, mate.
Done decent there. He replaces Billy Rowley. Went on the club website and had a look, because obviously I have absolutely no clue who the bloke was before having a look online. But he took over for them on one occasion, 3 wins and a draw as an interim manager. But before that, he was first team scout for Millwall, and he was a director for the elite player program for the Polish FA. So some decent experience there, which he'll
Really good.
take into the Isthmian leagues. You can hardly imagine, because they are very top standard jobs in the football world. But in the next round, they've drawn Brackley Town at home, so another National League side opposition. They'll be open for another giant killing for them. But 2 losses on the bounce now for Sutton after FA Cup defeat as well. But league form makes it look like a hopeful blip for them under Chris Agotta. Still unbeaten in 5 in the league. I don't know if you have opinions on him as a manager before he left for Sutton, Mikey. Don't know if you think he was any good, or don't know. Say what you think about him.
Former Worthing manager, Mikey.
Yeah, mate. I'm not. You don't talk about former Worthing players unless it's Ollie Pearce, mate, and he was on the losing side. So need I say more, really?
Fair play. Go on, Sterling, go on.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I think really, you're saying about Sutton, and they shouldn't be losing to Walton and Hersham with their B side, but I can't imagine there'll be so much in it, because Sutton are sitting in 18th in the National League, and as you said, with Walton and Hersham flying in their division, then come next season they could potentially be playing each other. If things go,
Yeah, that's very true.
if things go the
Very
right
true.
way. So playing such a weak side against a team that are doing so well themselves and are on a cracking run of form, when you're in dire need to get a little bit of form going, and get that good feeling back in the club, I think is a mistake from Sutton, and I don't think there'll be as much of a gap in quality as you first suggested. But Yeah, I think that'll be a good game against Brackley Town. They'll be definitely hoping that they don't take them as lightly as Sutton did, because they're even sitting below Sutton in the division. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't recommend, if any of them are listening to this, which they're probably not,
very unlikely.
to actually count them out really. But yeah, great game, and that manager's experience is really, really quite impressive, especially for the level.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I was very impressed when I was looking at it. I think he's Polish. Obviously, being with the Polish FA might not be, but yeah, very impressed by that appointment. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that we're talking about him next season in the National League South, because they're flying in their respective division.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll move it on finally to Isthmian Premier Division. Wanted to speak about local side to us, Lewis. Huge 4-1 away win at Dulwich Hamlet. Obviously, they've been flying. Dulwich Hamlet at the top of the table. Not quite bang first, are they? Second, I believe.
Dropped off a little bit now.
Yeah, but regardless, at the upper echelons of the table, so really good result for Lewis. New manager Craig Nelson slowly seems to be getting everything ticking, and yeah, really good result. I was really pleased with it. Seeing that they come from 1-0 down, didn't they, George, in the game?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so brilliant. Charlie Walker Brace, as well as Jack Birchall and Devontae West getting on the score sheet. All players that Bradley Pritchard had at the start of the season, the former Lewis manager, but all really good players as well. That Charlie Walker was just coming into the team and we watched him play. Devontae West, brilliant player.
Mm.
Absolute joke. We got special guest coming on next week who's close to Lewis this season, been a part of it, and he was saying that Devontae was just an absolute joke of a player. So no surprise to see him get on the score sheet, is it, George?
Nah, not at all. I'm not surprised. And my college football team manager's the 18s coach, and he was saying how good he is as well. So yeah, he's a young lad as well. He's only young, so um, to see him hitting heights that he is in this division wouldn't surprise me. Getting a move to a higher league anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Mike, have you been down to Lewis? Obviously, you're a Worthing boy, but have you been to the Dripping Pan?
Yeah, I certainly have. I can't remember who they played. I think it was probably just before COVID, to be fair. But it's a quality little ground, mate. I actually love it
Yeah,
there. It's great
Yeah,
atmosphere. They do get it going, don't they?
yeah, we love it
yeah.
there. We always go. It's so good down there.
You have to try get out to one with us, Mikey.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah,
You'd enjoy
100%.
it. Got some good players, mate. To be fair, and Lewis, they really are just slowly climbing the league now. Actually, 3 games unbeaten, 2 wins on the bounce, and just slowly somehow got just outside the playoff places. And
Mm.
only a few weeks ago, they were not looking anywhere near it, were they, George? But
Yeah, it's true.
to be fair, Craig Nelson's doing a good job, regardless of what people think about it. Him going back there, but he is doing a good job, and I like him. To be fair, I like him as a manager. It
Mm.
was weird to see him go and then come back. I think.
Yeah, it was at first, but as you say, he's implemented his system. He's got some players that he's brought in: Christian Law, Hampstead, Watson, Pape, Parish Muirhead, who was formerly of Lewis last season, and then obviously he's brought over some players with him from Tunbridge Angels in Bobby Unwin, Alfie Allen, and Taylor Crossdale as well. So big 2 games coming up in Sussex derbies, White Oak away and Burgess Hill away. Big games for them in the Sussex derby. So
They
I'll be
get tasty.
rooting for them 100%. But speaking about Dulwich Hamlet, they are on a bad run of form. 3 wins in the last 18. It's not a great form. 3 wins, 8 draws, 7 losses. So as you said, Sterling started off the season brilliantly, but failed to keep the consistency of late. With that run of form, you can see not very consistent at all.
Yeah, pony, mate, absolute pony. We'll move it on to a crazy and a huge incident which George you've been teeing up since we got on the call, mate. I'll leave it for you. Take it away.
Yeah, this happened on the weekend. I mean, I couldn't believe it when I was reading about it, and someone did a TikTok video about it. I'll run through what he sort of said in the video, and I'll sort of put it down. So we mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Welling sold Femi Akinwande to Potter's Bar, and a gentleman's agreement was meant to be in place that he wouldn't be able to play in the fixture between the two teams, Welling and Potts Bar. So he wasn't allowed to play in the game. But on the team sheet, that's when Ryan Maxwell kicked off, because that's when he saw he was in the squad. But Potter's Bar faithful have been saying they didn't have enough players in the squad due to a lack of availability. So he had to be in the squad. Otherwise, they would have to go for youngsters, etc.
Well, they should have done if they got a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then, because that gentleman's agreement didn't happen, Ryan Maxwell headbutts Sammy Moore, the Potters Bar manager, and because of the whole situation, Ryan Maxwell's got himself arrested, and there's an ongoing investigation about it all, and obviously the game got postponed. So this is why we cover non-league football, because of crazy events like this, which make this podcast so special. I mean, I've got a question for you both. I don't know what you both think, but if you were like a fan of that gaffer, how would you react as a fan, and like what would you want the club to do? Like, example, getting him sacked and stuff like that, because it's a mental situation for Welling especially, but for Potter's Bar as well, to be in that situation as football clubs that your manager's been in a headbutt with each other.
No, you'd have to get rid of him, mate. He's crossed the line there for sure. Mikey might say something different. He loves it.
Mate, honestly, that would make my weekend, maybe my month. Imagine turning up and your gaffer's that passionate. He's gone, oh, bucket, mate.
He has
Absolutely
crossed a
cracked
bit
him.
of a line there, though, hasn't he? And obviously,
Yeah, that is
100%.
bad.
But
Yeah, he's been arrested as well. It's so bad. I couldn't believe
mental.
it. Absolutely crazy. All over Femi Akinwande. You can see why we speak so highly of him, because managers are headbutting over him to get him in the squad.
I didn't know he was that good.
Yeah, and I was looking, because he plays in that baller league. I was like, no chance he's playing tomorrow night. When I saw it, he's in the squad. He was playing last night. I was like, surely if you had that happen about yourself, surely your head would be in a different dimension.
He's fresh, mate. He didn't play, did he? He's fresh. He's
He's
pretty
ready to go
fit, mate. He's
after seeing.
raring.
He's ready to go after seeing people headbutting each other
Put
about
those
it. He loves
boots
it.
on, mate.
He's suited and booted for it. But yeah, I mean, that was, I think, one of the most entertaining topics of the week. Really, I think it was the biggest topic in the league.
Yeah.
Which is why I bring it up, because what a situation to happen, and it just sums up this league. It shows a bit of passion, doesn't it? How much it means to clubs to get into the National League South. So crazy moment, and absolutely crazy. So yeah, mental.
Good note to end it on, I think. Oh well, a bad note, but a good place. Good place for the podcast to end it on. Mikey, thank you for coming on as always, mate. It's a pleasure.
thank you for having me, boys. To make an appearance 2 weeks in a row is an honour, but I don't think I'll be taking part in any quizzes anytime soon.
You might get invited back for a quiz soon enough, mate, because I know you're going to be in my ear about it, so we might have to make it happen. George, thanks as always, mate, and
Thank you,
everyone,
mate.
thank you for listening.
Adios.